Hey guys, Dave here for another Blu-ray collection update video. This one is a special edition installment of this series where we're going to be exclusively focusing on a new distributor here on the Australian market called Random Space Media. I shouldn't say new because they have actually been on the market for a number of years now, but they're new to me. I've only just become aware of them and their releases fairly recently. And I'm sure that a lot of you guys out there are going to be unaware of them or their releases as well. You know how closely I keep my eye on not only the wider Blu-ray physical home media market, but on the local one. Particular keen interest on keeping my eye on the local market and working with the local distributors to give you guys the latest reviews on the latest releases and stuff. And so for these guys to fly under my nose, I thought was pretty crazy. And again, I know a lot of you, this is going to be news to a lot of you out there as well. These releases are pretty much, I guess they're small run releases where they have up until now only been traditionally released through third-party sellers on Amazon and eBay who have storefronts. They're not releases, not all of them, some of them, but not all of them are like wide release. So most of these titles you couldn't walk into a JB Hi-Fi store and pick up off the shelf. You've had to buy them through like a third-party seller online or through their own website, which they have just totally launched right now. It's randomspacemedia.com. We'll get into that. We'll be talking all about that. Look, I reached out to them and I said, hey guys, this is who I am. I do these videos and stuff, and I'm really keen to learn more about you, and I know my audience will be really keen to learn about you as well. I want to help you spotlight you. I want to help spotlight your releases, get the word out there for all the stuff that you're putting out there on the market. They reached back out and they said, absolutely, let's do it. So it's like a little bit of a partnership with these, and hopefully it's going to be an ongoing thing because I love them. I really love this company. I really love the stuff that they are releasing. I'm so excited to showcase it to you guys out there. So this video, I'm going to give you a little bit of information behind them, why they're releasing the titles the way that they do, and we're going to spotlight a few of their bigger, most exciting releases as well. There's a bit to cover here, so let's get into it. Alright, so before we get into the meat and potatoes of this whole thing, I do want to shout out their website once again. It's randomspacemedia.com. If you head over there, you can check out all the releases that they have got. I'm going to, again, go over some of them here in this video. If you go over there, check out what they've got, fill up a cart with stuff. You can use the code DAVE10 at checkout to get 10% off your order. They have free shipping to Australia, no matter how much you spend, I believe. It is free shipping. For those over in New Zealand, you can import to New Zealand as well. I think the shipping is like $9.95 Australian. I don't believe at this point they allow shipping overseas. So it's particularly for Australian and New Zealand customers, and that code in particular can only be used by Australian and New Zealand customers. So randomspacemedia.com, use the code DAVE10, you get 10% off your order. I do want to preface this by saying the discount code, it's not on a commission basis or anything. It's not an affiliate code or anything like that. I get nothing out of it. This is just, I really want to help get these awesome releases out. I want to get the word out there and help these guys get themselves out there as well. The only thing I get out of this is the Blu-rays that I'm spotlighting for you guys here today. No commission or anything like that to help, spruik these guys or whatever. So, who are Random Space Media? They are, as I said at the top, they are a distributor here in Australia. And they have been working with the studios to release I don't want to use the word limited edition because I don't know how limited their runs are, but they are not wide release titles. They're smaller release titles that, again, predominantly have been released through third-party sellers online. They have now launched their new big website, so it's easier for you guys out there to find out about them and their releases. They're all going to be listed on their website. You can go there and check them out. I think this is probably the best way to get your hands on their stuff, particularly if you want to use the code DAVE10 and get 10% off your order. Now, these are official studio releases, but most of them you won't find on a wide release in stores like JB Hi-Fi, as I said at the top of this video. They have, predominantly, they are working with Universal Sony Pictures Home Entertainment on a bunch of really, really fantastic releases. Now, essentially, the titles that they're releasing, There's a number of reasons why Universal has opted to release them on a smaller scale and why Random Space Media has chosen to work with Universal. Again, they have a really great relationship with Universal. Why they have chosen to put together what they have been so far. I will just give you a very brief idea. I've got this box here of the titles that they're releasing. We'll go over these individually in a moment. But essentially, a lot of these titles are ones that wouldn't normally get a Blu-ray release on the Australian market. There are a lot of movies now that you'll go into JB Hi-Fi, you go looking for it, you find the DVD and there's no Blu-ray. They haven't released the Blu-ray on the market. Now, in most cases, titles are chosen whether they get a DVD or a Blu-ray release or both on a title-by-title basis. And usually it's dependent on what title they believe will sell on a more expensive format. So you'll see a lot of movies don't get 4K releases because their titles the studio doesn't believe will sell on 4K. Same with Blu-ray. So there's a lot of movies out there that won't get a Blu-ray release, but they'll get a DVD release. I will use one example here. It's a fairly new release film. It's called Happiest Season. This got a wide DVD release and it didn't get a Blu-ray release on the wide market, but Random Space Media worked with Universal, Sony Pictures Home Entertainment, to get a Blu-ray release out there on the Australian market. Other releases, for example, we'll take a look at this one here. It's the Fast and the Furious 9 movie collection. This has got all 9 Fast and Furious films so far, including Hobbs and Shaw, whereas the wide release version of this can only be found, that can be found in JB Hi-Fi, only has the 8 films in there. It's actually more expensive too, the JB one. It's $80 at JB, where you can pick this one up. I believe it was, I wrote it down, $49.95 for this. Really, really good deal. Again, use your 10% off code and you get it even cheaper. So that's an example there where they will basically bundle up titles in film collections to make it easier for the collector out there, particularly for big franchises where there's so many films. It makes it easier for us as collectors to go out and just grab all the films in one collection instead of having to buy each one individually. Sometimes you'll find with franchises like this that 1 or 2 of the films might be out of print. You're able to get 7 of the films and 2 of them are out of print, whereas they're available here in this collection. One great example of that, they have a new release Jumanji box set, which has got the original Jumanji. It's got the 2 reboot versions of Jumanji. It's also got Zathura in there, which is like the kind of sci-fi spin-off kind of thing, but based on a book by the same author. And that has been out of print on Blu-ray for a long time on the Australian market, and they've just got it back in print on Blu-ray in this collectible box set with the other Jumanji movies. They are also putting together special edition, collector's edition titles. Again, I'll look over these in a bit more detail very soon. This is the Avatar: The Last Airbender collection. It's in this very special box set. And they know that primarily people who are collecting physical home media these days, they are primarily collectors and people who really love collecting things. They love the collector's items. They love getting into buying the movies. I know a lot of you guys are out there like this. I am. I buy so many box sets and stuff because, I buy so many box sets of movies that I already own because I love the packaging. They work with Universal to put together these fantastic special edition box sets that you might not be able to go in JB and pick up on the shelf. This again, Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's available just in like a regular Blu-ray Amaray case if you go to JB Hi-Fi and pick it up. One other reason is that they want to bring light to to titles that people might not know about, titles that may have flown under the radar completely. So for example, with Avatar, they released this great box set which had Avatar: The Last Airbender and also The Legend of Korra in there. It was like a double box set with both series in it because they found that a lot of people weren't aware that the Legend of Korra series was a spin-off of Avatar. A lot of people thought it was a different thing, so they bundled them together in one box set and let people know, hey, this is all part of the same universe, the same franchise. There's a variety of reasons they're putting these movies out there, but predominantly these are titles that wouldn't normally find a wide release on the Australian market, and they're working with the studios to put together official studio releases so that us collectors of physical media can get our hands on these movies and these fantastic box sets in some small way. Now that they have launched their own website, randomspacemedia.com. It is going to be a lot easier for us to find their releases, and I'm going to be working with them to promote their latest releases and let you guys know what titles they're releasing out there, because again, they've just been releasing some really great stuff. With that all out of the way, let us go over a few titles that they have released here. First up, we'll start off with a couple of box sets that they have sent in for me. This one right here, we'll start off with, is the Breaking Bad and El Camino box set. Now, I believe the only box set of Breaking Bad you can get on wide release is just the complete series, whereas Random Space Media is offering this box set right here, which opens at the top. Really fantastic. I love this. It not only includes the entire series of Breaking Bad, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. It's fantastic, but it also includes El Camino, which is the film. So again, all of these titles can be found either individually. You can get a complete series box set, which just has the series in there. Look, it's got every single one of them. Just a bloody great show. I love it so much. And then you get El Camino with it as well. So you don't have to, you know, cobble together everything. Another great box set here, I just spotlit this briefly before. It's called Avatar, The Legend of Aang. This is essentially the Avatar The Last Airbender series, the Nickelodeon series. I have not seen this, but I have heard nothing but great things about it. It is apparently amazing, and I'm so keen to check it out. Again, this is one where on a wide release, you can just go and get a standard Amaray pack collection of this series. But through Random Space Media, you are able to get this really amazing box set right here, which I think is just gorgeous. Really gorgeous to design. I'm so happy they sent this through to me, because now not only do I have this fantastic box set in my collection, but I have the series that I can actually dive into and check out. I've heard nothing but great things. And I know a lot of you out there have actually recommended that I check that out, so I finally can now. So that has the entire series. It's got all 3 books. That one there is a great price of $59.95 for that fantastic box set. Again, use the code DAVE10 and you'll get a little bit cheaper than that. Next up is this Fast and Furious box set that I showed off just before. This is the 9 movie collection. As I said before, this includes all of the 9 current Fast and Furious movies, which includes Hobbs and Shaw. It doesn't include Fast 9 because that hasn't opened in cinemas just yet. So it's only it includes the 9 films, including Hobbs and Shaw, which are available currently. You can either buy them individually on a wide release, or, as I said before, there is an 8-film box set on the wide market, but it doesn't include Hobbs and Shaw. So if you want to pick up the set that does include Hobbs and Shaw, this is a great way to get it. Now, I did check on JB Hi-Fi, and the wide release version has an $80 price point for the 8 films, whereas you can go and pick this one up for $49.95 at Random Space Media for the 9 films. Really great way. The 9th film is coming out in a couple of months' time, if not like a month's time, and this is a really great way to fast track your collection of the Fast films if you want to watch them all in the lead up for the new movie. I know I'm doing that right now. I'm really excited to check out the new film. This one here is one that I was particularly excited about, Resident Evil. This is the entire collection. It's a 9 movie collection. It not only includes, what are there, the 6 live action films, but it includes 3 animated movies as well. So this is I believe, all of the Resident Evil movies so far that are available out there. I've never seen any of them, but these are movies that I've been wanting. This is a great example. These are movies that I've been wanting to buy for so long, but it's just felt so daunting to me to have to go out and pick them all up. And again, usually you see a couple of them sitting on the shelf, and then the other ones aren't there. And you got to do the runaround to all your different stores, or you got to get online and buy them from a bunch of different places. This is a great way to get all the movies together in one set. Now, this one I believe is actually one that you can get at JB. I'm pretty sure I've seen this one at least on their website. And again, it's got all those just the previously released Universal discs. They're just kind of all bundled up there in this collection here. This can be bought, but I believe the price point on this at JB Hi-Fi is like $75, whereas if you pick this one up from Random Space Media, it is only $59.95. Again, you can apply that 10% off voucher as well and get it a little bit cheaper. But if you like those movies, or like me, you're keen on checking them out, that's a really great way to get them all. Another great set here that I'm particularly excited about is the Alfred Hitchcock Classics Collection. You guys out there, if you've been following me, you know that I love my Hitchcock films. There have been a number of Hitchcock box sets on the market over the years. Usually they bundle up like 10, 12 of his films. This one right here is just the Classics collection. This bundles up like the essential Hitchcock movies. If you're keen to take a look at some of the Hitchcock movies, but you know, you don't want to splash out on all of them because you know you're not going to watch all of them, this is a really great way to go. This actually has 4 of my favorite Hitchcock films, and you know, arguably the 4 most iconic Hitchcock films of the lot, which is Vertigo, The Birds, Rear Window, and Psycho as well. All terrific movies. They're not only you know, some of my favorite Hitchcock films, they're some of my favorite classic cinema, full stop. I just really love these. So this is a great way to either kickstart a Hitchcock collection or just to get a couple of Hitchcock films into your collection. This one right here is a really fun little release. It is a Spider-Man 3-movie collection. You don't only get the 2 Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man films, Homecoming and Far From Home, but you also get Into the Spider-Verse as well, the great animated film from Sony Pictures Animation. So this is a really great way to bundle up the 3 newest, the 3 kind of modern Spider-Man films. Again, inside the packaging, you're going to get bundled up the 3 previously released discs of these that have come out individually. I think that's great. I love the artwork on there too. Just this great comic book kind of inspired artwork. You got the big pow in it. I think that's great. I think it's a really good box set. Again, if you want to buy up the Spider-Man films, and you want like an affordable and easier way to kind of cobble them all up, I think this is a really great way to go. We've got another really exciting box set here. It's the John Carpenter 4K collection. This has got Escape from New York, Prince of Darkness, They Live, and The Fog. Again, all in 4K. These were all recently released as part of the Classics Remastered range with individual releases. I know that this is one of the ones that you can actually go and pick up at JB Hi-Fi. Their price point is $75 for this one right here, whereas if you go and you pick these up through Random Space Media, it's a $59.95 price point, and then you can use your 10% off voucher on that as well. Again, as I said, the individual titles were like $30 each at JB with a regular retail price, whereas if you bought this through Random Space Media, they break down to $15 a title. If you use the discount code, they would be quite a bit cheaper per title as well. I believe Escape from New York, the 4K version of that, is out of print already. That one sold really quickly. So if you do want to get your hands on that, as well as the other John Carpenter films on 4K, this is a really fantastic way to do it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to dive into these. Escape from New York is a great film, one of my favorites, and I haven't checked out the others just yet, so this is a really great way to do that. All right, we've got another one here that I'm like super duper excited about. This is one of the first ones I found out that they had actually released. It's The Great. This is a terrific series. I believe, again, this was a Hulu series over in the States. It was here. It was on one of our streaming services here. That's how I've watched it. And it is amazing. It's got Elle Fanning as Catherine the Great. It's got Nicholas Hoult in there as her husband. And it is just so much fun. It is this great comedy, drama, really quirky show, and I adore it. Now, the only way you are able to get this widely on the Australian market is on DVD, but thanks to Random Space Media, we have got a Blu-ray, an official Blu-ray release of that here too. And I believe, if I'm not incorrect, I believe this is an Australian exclusive, the Blu-ray. I don't think there's a Blu-ray available on any other market. So if you want to get it on Blu-ray, there is an option out there. Great show. I love it so much. I'm so glad that I'm able to own it in my collection. Another TV box set that I'm pumped about is Mr. Mercedes. This has got the complete series, 1 to 3. This is based on a series of Stephen King novels. It was a trilogy of novels. So I guess each season of this series is based on one of the novels. Again, each season was released individually, but this is a great way to get them all bundled up together because, you know, it is a trilogy arc, and this is just great to get the box set. Essentially, as far as I'm aware, he is this crazy psychotic killer who steals a Mercedes and drives it through a crowd of people, and it follows a cop who tries to hunt him down. It stars Brendan Gleeson, who's a really, really terrific actor. So I'm so keen to dive into that and check that one out. It sounds really, really fantastic. We've got a couple of movies we'll take a look at briefly as well. Firstly is The Golden Child. This is one of my favorite Eddie Murphy movies ever. It's a cult classic from the 1980s, like fantasy, action, adventure kind of thing. And I feel like this is one that's kind of like an under-the-radar movie. Again, a cult film. It's an example of a lesser-known film that Random Space Media wants to get out there on the Australian market, and also a movie that just normally wouldn't get a Blu-ray release here in Australia. This did recently get a release in the US and the UK, and this is how I found out about Random Space Media, actually, is that I went on to Amazon Australia to see if I can import a version of this from the global store, because I just knew this was a title that wasn't going to get a release here in Australia, and this popped up. And I thought, what on earth? There is an Australian release? What's the deal with this? Because I hadn't seen it on JB website or Sanity or Easy DVD. Hadn't seen it pop up in, you know, the usual suspects kind of places. So I did a bit of digging. I asked a couple of people, what's the deal with this? And they said, yeah, this is an official release. This is Random Space Media. The more I dug into them, the more I found out. The next one I found out about was The Great. So The Golden Child, really fantastic movie. Again, one of my favorite Eddie Murphy films, and I am a huge Eddie Murphy fan. I love Eddie Murphy, and I'm so happy to get this into my collection. And like a officially released local version of it. So excited to have that in my collection. Here's another one here. Sound of Metal. This film is terrific. This went to, I believe it went to Amazon Prime as an exclusive film, and it's actually getting a Blu-ray release here in Australia, thanks to Random Space Media. This is one that I did see at JB Hi-Fi, so this is an example of one that you might see on a wider release, but if you do want to support the distributor directly, you can pick this one up. This is just so great. He's a drummer in a heavy metal band, and because he's spent years doing this, he's going deaf. He's also a drug addict, and he seeks out addiction treatment at a treatment facility for the deaf. It's just such a beautiful film. It was up for a number of Oscars and stuff. Riz Ahmed delivers an amazing performance in this. Olivia Cooke as well is terrific. And Paul Rachi, who he plays the guy at the facility, so good, just amazing. Man, guys, you got to check this movie out, and I'm so happy that I can get my hands on a Blu-ray of it. Not only have it in my collection, but have a really good quality. A lot of these streaming movies are it's great to have them on the streaming service, but a lot of the streaming services, they suffer really bad compression issues. You guys know this. You're Blu-ray collectors. You know why we collect Blu-ray. It's always nice to get a movie like this physically, and it's great to be able to get a Blu-ray version. Another great example of that is Happier Season. This is one I showed off just a little bit earlier. It has got an amazing cast in there. Kristen Stewart, Mackenzie Davis, Alison Brie, Aubrey Plaza, Daniel Levy, Victor Garber, Mary Steenburgen. This is a romantic comedy Christmas film, which I'm so excited to have a look at. I've wanted to see this since it came out in cinemas. Unfortunately, I just missed my chance last year because of COVID and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm very excited to finally watch that one very soon. It is about this woman who brings her girlfriend home to the family for the Christmas season and plans to propose to her. However, her family actually doesn't know that she's gay. She hasn't come out to her family yet. So it's this whole kind of, I guess, this whole thing where not only is she going to propose, but she has to come out to her family as well. It just sounds like such a beautiful, amazing, gorgeously touching film, and it is apparently very funny. Again, this is one that went to a wide release on DVD only here in Australia, and thanks to Random Space Media, you can get it on Blu-ray. Again, great example of a film that wouldn't normally find a Blu-ray release here, but thanks to Random Space Media, it is. This is the third title that I found out about from them, and it was this moment where I was like, I need to get in touch with these people, because I knew people were really getting quite upset that this movie was only getting a DVD release on the local market. And now here I'm like, guys, please, there is a Blu-ray. There is a Blu-ray, you can get it. And one more here is this one right here, Big Time Adolescence. This is a Hulu film as well, and it's one that I didn't even know about until I went searching on their website and had a look at what they had on offer. This is a film. It tells the story of a teenage boy coming of age in a dull suburban town under the destructive guidance of his best friend, a charismatic college dropout. played by Pete Davidson. It looks really wonderful from all the reviews and stuff that I've seen on it. It's apparently really great, again, comedy drama, really touching film, a lot of great comedy and stuff in there, with great performers too, right there. Look, this is a film I believe is also a worldwide exclusive on Blu-ray so far, and it's not available. I've had a look, JB Hi-Fi, all that, so I believe the best way to get this will be through Random Space Media, and yeah, they have the DVD version as well, and neither DVD or Blu-ray can be found like on the wide release, so if you want to check that movie out, really great way to get that. Yeah, best way to get your hands on that is to head over to randomspacemedia.com. And at that is all of the titles that we are going to take a look at from Random Space today. Again, thank you so much to the amazing team over there for sending out a really, really generous amount of stuff. I really didn't expect you guys to send over so much. I do really appreciate it, and I know my audience out there appreciates it as well, and I'm just so happy to be able to give you just a little bit of spotlight and hopefully get the name out there a bit more, get these releases out there, because there's some great stuff here. You sent some awesome stuff, and I know you guys out there watching are going to be really excited by a lot of this stuff here as well. So seriously, head over to randomspacemedia.com. Use the promo code DAVE10. You'll get 10% off your order if you're in Australia. You get free shipping if you're in New Zealand. You got to pay, I think, like $9.95 shipping, which is nothing really. And pick up a bunch of stuff. They've got a whole lot of other stuff on there as well. So you can head over to their website and just check out what they've got. Fill up a cart. Give them some support. Give them some some acknowledgement, and let's get their releases out there. Really, really cool. And hopefully we will be spotlighting some more of their releases as the years go on. I think this is the future of physical media, really. Smaller distributors putting out smaller release titles. So this is, I think, the way we're going to have to get used to getting titles like this in the future through distributors like that. And I'm so thankful that a wonderful team like Random Space Media out there exists. So once again, thanks to Random Space Media for joining me in a really great partnership here and sending me over a great bundle of stuff to take a look at and showcase. And thanks everybody out there for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Hey everyone, if you haven't yet, smash that big old subscribe button up on your screen to keep up to date with all my content, and hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to check me out on social media, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon for as little as $1 a month for exclusive videos, early access content, and to get your name up on the screen. Thanks again for watching.